All right. Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly, the Brand Man, Brandon, and Martin. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I got the
Just
high
me.
ground. I got the high ground over Martin, so I'm okay.
I just made it, man. I just made it.
Yeah. Well, we changed the plan a little bit, but we'll probably go back to it. So we'll start with Kenobi, Miss Marvel, and then we'll end with the boys because I know Martin, you're not caught up with that. So if you want to take out by then, I know
I'll
you
probably
got a
take
busy
off
day today.
before Miss Marvel. I didn't even have enough
Okay.
time to watch Miss Marvel.
It's a pretty
Okay.
good episode. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so I'll probably
Yeah,
call it a day after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Running around like
Sounds good,
crazy.
man.
I don't know how he does it.
I did the mistake of booking two vehicles. Well, I was working on one myself. That I messed something up. I broke something. I
Oh,
was you working on something, you break it, and then you
yep.
gotta go get something else for that part. I did that myself. The other one was an electric thing. I'm not messing with electric cars. I don't know jack about electric cars because I ain't
Same.
about to fry myself and get electrocuted. I'm like, nope. Go ahead, I'll wait for it. And then I broke my motor car. I was like,
Damn.
yeah, yeah.
One time, man. Yeah, dude. I got that Rav4, which is the hybrid one,
Mhm.
and I
Oh, good
open up
luck
the
with the
hood. I'm like,
mechanics.
yeah. Oh, we got like a 3-year like warranty. That's good. And then
That's good.
we're gonna get the 7-year extended warranty.
You
So
need
I'm
to get
like,
the extended warranty.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I have no idea. Like, I'm like half of the engine I can work on. Like,
Mm-hmm. It's
but
there's
Dude,
too
even
many
then,
kill switches on these newer electric cars that if you don't do it in the right sequence, it's the sequence. If you don't do it in the right sequence, you're gonna fry yourself.
right? Something.
Like a lot of volts just gonna go like
that's
close
nuts.
to
I couldn't
10.
even imagine. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's close to 10, and depending on what kind of battery it is. I'm like, no, I ain't about to get 10,000 shot up into me dying over some stupid Prius. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Just
you
go
know,
ahead, take care of this dinky little car, so I can go get back on the road. So I get back to my $30 gas car that I fill up every other week.
Yeah.
the gas prices
Sorry, Derpy.
notwithstanding, it's times like this I'm just happy I don't even bother with a car.
You could do
Yeah.
that in Chicago. That's why.
I could do that in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just me, my public transportation, and probably and soon to be my new bicycle that I'm probably gonna get before the end of the month.
Hey,
That's
it
where you
works.
Yeah,
That's
I'm good.
the perks of living in the city, which I miss. You know, it's like you need to go somewhere. There's a bus or a train that takes you exactly where you need to go, and if not, you bike it.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Brandon guys lives in the real city. Like when you think of Chicago, the
Downtown.
skyline,
Yeah.
that's him. That's where
Yeah,
he lives.
he's
That's
in
what's
city,
up.
city.
Like
That's what's up. Downtown. That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like in the middle. I'm like in the thick of it, in the loop, like right off Michigan, man. So
Oh, damn. Yeah. So yeah, you really, yeah. When you see the pictures of Chicago, like that's where he lives.
You put a circle right there, and
Yeah.
that's where he lives. I live compared to that. I live in the boondocks. I have a little lake in my backyard. I got animals running through.
Uh-huh. Have to worry about coyotes and foxes and
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that's
But yeah, sorry, Derpy. I know he was here. He had a whole bucket of popcorn. It's all gone now. He ate it all
Well,
waiting
he
for
probably
us.
ate it because he's watching the Avalanche game right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he went on.
He was over in yours.
He jumped in on my quick review of the last 12 picks, and he was talking about he was watching the playoffs. It's the Lightning and the Avalanche. I'm watching it right now as we speak because I like hockey.
Someone got some air.
So
Hey, thank you, Deborah.
Still hate you.
that's my
Is
mom.
that I was gonna say, is that your mom, or your sister, or somebody? Very nice. I saw the last name.
That's funny because my mom has never liked anything I did. We're doing over 300 videos. My mom has never liked not one.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow. At least my mom has jumped in every
Your mom
now and
jumped
then.
on.
yeah. Your mom's been in the comments a little bit. my mom. I put a poll up on our Facebook group, and I was asking, I'm like, hey, does anybody want to see us maybe review some video games? And everybody, it was a good like 12, 13 votes. Everyone said yes except for one person. That one person
Your mom.
was my mom. I
Except
know she doesn't really care for
the
that
one person.
anyway.
That's my girlfriend who doesn't want me getting on the games and
Yeah.
fall in love again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I thought that was but cool. You guys want to get it? So we'll start with Kenobi.
right.
And then if Martin, if you want to take off, and then we'll go into our other stuff. So just keep an eye on the time. The goal is 20 to 30 minutes. That's what I want to do. If it doesn't, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna stop a good conversation.
Episode of Kenobi.
Dude.
Oh man.
Let me start it with the intro real quick.
Yep,
and then,
let's do this.
Then
Right,
we'll go.
let's go.
All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. If you're watching live, thank you for joining us. If you're watching on replay, make sure you like and subscribe. And this episode, we are talking about Kenobi episode 5. Yeah, 5. I had to bring fart.
Yep.
So we're doing spoilers and everything. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. Come back here and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about Kenobi. I already know we have a fan in chat, Derpy, who messaged me earlier. So I think we're all gonna have different opinions on this one. Well, at least us and Derpy. But yeah, man, let's just go right into it with some initial thoughts and feelings. So why don't you start off, Brandon? And let's go around the horn.
So this show for me is definitely one-upping itself with each episode. This was easily my favorite episode. Very much kept me engaged from beginning to end. I thought everything about it was absolutely brilliant. For the first time, like as a whole, Obi-Wan definitely seemed in his element and more sure of himself at this point in time. I loved the flashbacks that basically bookended and kind of like interwove throughout the episode. Like being that Obi-Wan's always been one of my favorite characters in Star Wars lore. One point of frustration in the prequels was we never really saw any training from Obi-Wan to Anakin. So I'm happy that we saw that and how much it tied into the narrative. I think that everything flowed very well. I liked the revelation with Reva. I liked the revelation of the Grand Inquisitor. Because let's face it, there was no way that early in the game that the Inquisitor was like just down for the count. There was no way. There was none. Yeah. I knew Reva. I had a feeling there was something more to her backstory. I don't think I ruled out the possibility that she was a youngling, which obviously she turned out being. But yeah, I was very, very happy with this episode. Off the top of my head, I'm actually gonna have to comb through my mind to find any downsides, but easily my favorite one.
Yeah. What about you, Martin?
I called it, man. I called it from the beginning. I was right from the start. I knew it. She was part of the Jedis, and she was a little girl running away. I knew this whole time. I felt like they read my mind. Let's just make this show.
Let's make it true.
They've made this show for me, specifically for me, and I appreciate what Child's been doing. Thank you. Hayden Christensen came back, so I thought that was really cool. The only thing is, I probably would have eased up on the close up because clearly, he's aged. They could have backed up a little bit, but it was good. I liked it. I like how the whole scene between him and Kenobi and then Reva with Vader, the whole thing was really cool. And this is easily my first episode that I would say the first time where stormtroopers could not hit Jack for the life of them at this point. Because damn,
Obi-Wan
not a
was
single
just like,
civilian from that side was down, but there was a whole rack of stormtroopers on the ground. I don't understand, but yeah, go ahead. That was my take.
Yeah, what you got, Brian?
I enjoyed just watching it. I knew we talked about this whole thing with Reva. I knew that was going on. I knew what was happening with Obi-Wan. I understood all the stuff. Like you knew this is the episode that kind of paid all the stuff that we thought was happening. You know, we knew the Grand Inquisitor's not dead. We knew it, he was a maker of the Grand Inquisitor. You knew that Darth Vader was going to hurt her, mortally hurt her. Like he was gonna be the one that almost kills her. I thought she was gonna die, but we knew all those things would happen. I didn't know that she was gonna be looking to kill him first. I didn't know that. I was thinking that the whole time, like, why is she trying to help him if she saw Anakin? Because she said Anakin is alive. So she knew he was Anakin, knew Darth Vader was Anakin. Not many people know that. Everyone doesn't know that. No one knows that in the entire universe. But she knew that. So that was a red flag. And then the fact that she thought that she could get close enough to hurt him blows my mind.
That's
really blew my
funny.
mind.
That was hilarious.
What was awesome was how Vader stopped the entire ship from taking off. What the hell?
That was so cool, man. That was
amazing.
That's why he's able to kill people like without even thinking about it. Like, man, that he's so strong with the Force, it's ridiculous. But he is always on the offensive, and because he's always on the offensive, he leaves himself vulnerable, and that's exactly what we saw this episode. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. This whole episode, from the start to the end, was so well told. I think it filled in some of the holes that people were complaining about, like, how does she know it's Anakin? Like, blah blah blah. Like you were saying, like, not like, I think there's only like 3-4 people. You know, Ahsoka, the Emperor. I can't think of the general guy that they brought that died in I'm having a brain fart. And then they CGI'd him back in Rogue One. That was a big thing. He knew just because he was so smart. But that's about it. I mean, there really wasn't, you know, and obviously Obi-Wan, and
only because of obviously this.
Yeah. So, but then this is like, but she put it together on her own. Like, no one told her. Like, she figured it out, which just kind of tells you, like, she's smart, you know, but maybe a little too arrogant. You know, I think it was what her downfall was.
The hell thinks she could be Darth Vader? Like,
I know, you know, and do it alone, you know, and but I get it. Like, she was just so full of rage and anger, and I like that. I thought that fit her character so bad, or not bad, so well, that being a bad guy, you know, because like we all said, like, she was kind of annoying in the beginning, but the annoying with the arrogance, it starts to make sense now. It's because she just can't trust anybody, and she has this plan in her head that if she deviates away from the plan, then it's not going to happen, kind of thing. So
yeah, I mean, you think about it. Basically, they killed her family. You know, that's what happened. Everyone she knew died in front of her, and she had to hide with the bodies. How does that affect someone psychologically?
Yeah, dude, I'm messed up from watching it. I didn't think they were gonna fucking show it. I was like, what the hell, man? They like, even in the movies they didn't show it. Like, they show the blade going and a kid falling and him stabbing her. I'm like, holy crap, Disney! What the hell? Even George Lucas was like, oh well, he's just gonna turn it on and you're gonna figure it out. Like, Disney's like, nah.
We're going through the whole thing. We're going Deadpool with this.
Yeah, we're gonna pull the trigger on this one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but Vader, I think all the Vader fans, this show really kind of gave Vader fans what they wanted.
How badass he really is. He's a badass. Yeah. He's the best of all time.
It always seemed like they kind of shied away with that in the prequels, even with Anakin himself, in terms of, you know, they only talked about how powerful a Jedi he is, but for the most part, we saw him doing very basic Jedi things more often than not.
Brandon, so, think about this. Think about what took Yoda to get the ship out of the swamp, and think what Vader did to a ship taking off. He stopped it from taking off and pulled it to the ground. Even Yoda, it took Yoda all that concentration to get it out of the swamp. That is crazy. how strong
Exactly.
he really is.
Yeah, so I'm happy we're finally seeing just how like OP he really is.
Yeah. So, and obviously, I think the biggest part that everyone like loves was the Vader fight. Were you guys surprised on how he acted? Like how he I mean, dude was like doing like Matrix style.
not.
He was just like blocking shit and just kind of like get off me, little girl.
He was
Yeah,
toying
so
with
Yeah,
her.
he was taunting her.
toying with her. He snapped the saber in half. He threw into her like, here, like, try
Here.
again.
Yeah, like I'll make it easy for
Yeah.
you.
And he still beat her. Like Vader, no man, like
Yeah.
he's unstoppable.
You ever see like an NBA player at a basketball
Yeah.
camp?
Like
Playing against like little kids, at the basketball camp. That's what it looked like. He was like, all right, yeah, you about to do this. Oh, okay, you did that. Oh,
Yeah.
let me grab that, break it in half. I'm gonna throw this half. And she was trying her hardest, and he was just like, whatever. You can't beat the fifth brother. So what are you trying to do? Trying to fight me? Like, that's the jump in the upper competition that you just don't need to be doing.
It reminded me of Matrix. I don't know about you guys, just especially with no weapon, he was just like one arm like force pushing her and stopping the saber. I was like,
I mean,
damn,
he is
that
the
was
one.
just so cool. Yeah, I guess, right? But yeah, that was super cool. And what about some other good parts? I got freaking those. Any other good parts that you guys like?
I liked how smart Leia is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, oh, we can't get in there. She goes, well, I'll do it. And you got need a ladder, and they're like, no, we can't. She's like, I wasn't asking. I'm telling you because I'm gonna go do it. And yeah, like
I like how Obi-Wan was just like, just let her do it.
I trust her more than anybody here. Just go do it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty
Obi-Wan
cool.
was following her lead.
No, he just said like, you know what? I can tell you no, but yes, what's gonna happen? She's still gonna do it.
Yeah,
So,
and still, like, even though we saw less Leia in this episode, she still surprised us and still like just gave us that
she's more like her dad than we want to even admit. Think about Anakin, young Anakin from episode 1. I mean, she's really good, stubborn but smart, able to problem solve quickly, knowing all the stuff that all the pressure that's on her, and she's just like
Padme. Yep, too. Yep, same.
Yeah,
way.
like Padme.
Exactly.
Fearless and smart and stubborn and just hard-headed.
She's the perfect combination of the two. She's probably the better combination than Luke is.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah. She should have been the one that fight Vader.
Yeah, but it's the one have a woman doing it right now. I think back then.
Look, 1971. You really?
There's no way. Yeah.
They would have. Yeah.
I mean, they found a way for Leia to be in the bikinis. Yeah, they found a way. They're like, we got to get this happening. Don't even make sense. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know what else. Any other good stuff or some bad stuff? Any bad stuff you guys like? We're kind of like, that was stupid.
Bad stuff.
I can think of a few.
Taya or Tala died.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Which was interesting. I did not expect her to kind of go out like that.
Can I ask you specifically, Martin? If you have a grenade in your hand that's small enough that fits in your hand, why don't you just throw it? Why does that have to blow up in your hand?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I have to
hold
it.
That detonator. Cool. And it wasn't even an imploder, all right? If it was an imploder, everybody would have been done in that room. But if it was just a regular detonator, and I don't know if you guys know what the difference between the two is, but an imploder is basically what like half the size of what Boba Fett would throw out of a ship, but it was like hand size. So, but the detonator itself, she could have thrown it. She could have hid behind her robot, which specifically he put himself in. That was okay. We're not getting confusing parts yet, but we will whenever. But that I didn't like is she died in a weird way
for no reason. It was almost needless. Like I feel like she could have thrown it, blown all those people up,
They needed
got
a
in there,
hero.
and then opened
They
the door.
needed
Like,
a hero in this episode. And
They
that's
let the
how-
robot
that's
be
the
the
best
hero.
way they came up.
hey, robot, you did it. Good job. All you gotta do is now is come from underneath him and go walk in with Obi-Wan. Let's go get in a ship. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
They just needed an obligatory self-sacrifice. That's all.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, and then
That's all
you
it
know
was.
what? She was probably the least like character that we. All right, well, it happened. It sucks. Move on.
Let's move on. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I agree that they did just because they had to do the sacrifice. But I mean, come on, man. You had it was Pedro Pascal's wife in Game of Thrones. I was like,
Yeah.
you couldn't keep her alive and have them meet somehow in
Right.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, that would have been
No.
so good.
No
Yeah,
more lucky events for them from here on out because she always showed up in the nick of time.
Mhm.
But now, not anymore. They're really gonna get themselves out of trouble on their own now.
Yeah, and this is I believe this is the 6th and final episode next week. So, they had to give the main character, like the main group, a handicap in that regard. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to
Yeah,
know
never
what they're
gave
gonna
a
do without her.
handicap.
As the story goes, I really want to know what they do without. Like, even though she's not like the main focus, but she's been a big part of this mission. So I'm without her being there, it's gonna be interesting.
mhm.
But she's the one that really is the one that helped.
Oh yeah,
Kenobi
she was the
kinda
main
get his,
the main
stuff back.
this whole time. Like,
Yeah, so I don't know. One other thing that kind of bugged me was, did they run out of money? I know Martin, you already kind of brought it up. Is like, did they run out of money of de-aging technology? Because I was like,
The deep
I was
fake
like,
was just not
what's
that
up?
good.
I mean, makeup. Just do some better makeup. I'm like, you didn't have. Hayden Christensen's supposed to be like a teenager at this point, and he was looking pretty rough, man. He looked like a 40-year-old man, not a 16 to 18-year-old kind of kid. It was like young, old Anakin. So that was something up.
He obviously 41-year-old Hayden Christensen looks significantly, different, more mature than 21-year-old Hayden Christensen. But it wasn't really a point of distraction for me with the de-aging.
Yeah.
he aged well, I guess.
He aged well.
But you could have deep faked it and not didn't even have to worry about it. Like, you didn't even have to do that. You could just use the technology that's at hand that you've already used multiple times
In all your different studios. Marvel does it in every show, in every movie they use it.
Like, we saw Luke, in The Mandalorian like 15 times. Like, I don't understand.
Although I am happy they didn't go for a complete CG, face, because I hated those PS2 level graphics with Luke on The Mandalorian. It's so distracting. They really could have just cast Sebastian Stan as Luke. He looks enough like Mark Hamill anyway.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
dude,
think about it
they're
with Tommy Lee. That makes sense.
But I mean, on The Mandalorian, it was really bad. So bad that they wind up hiring the YouTuber that fixed Luke Skywalker and made it better, and they hired him. And in Book of Boba Fett, he looks so much more better.
But
You can still kind of tell, but
so you can
so
go ahead
much
and just
better.
do it then. I mean,
a YouTuber, like before you hired him, was able to do it.
Right.
And you don't need to do anything. I think just a little bit more makeup or something. I don't know. I mean, that man, I was super glad to see him again. I thought it was really cool, seeing them fight and having that shared memory of like,
and then
that
going back
fight.
and forth with how balanced the episode. That was pretty awesome.
But also the fight was telling the story of the what was going on at that time. So I like that kind of like storytelling kind of stuff. It's like a memory that coinciding with present event. So
Me too.
yeah, it's always fun when it's done right. And I thought this was done right because you got a lot of back and forth of it. So, but I don't know.
Also,
Vader.
Come on. Kumail, what's his name? Nanji, whatever his name. The one who dropped the thing. Like, come on. Really? Really just gonna drop it? And she happens to find it in all the dust in that big old room. She stabbed through it and she finds it right there. I was like, really, man? Really? no one can use the Force and fix that. It's like, or push it to the side a little bit, like he's pulling down whole spaceships and it stayed exactly right there. I don't understand. Like it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. This didn't make sense to me.
I don't know. And that was another issue. I thought that was kind of like, because it has a really awesome moment of him pulling down the ship and then rips it apart, with his anger. That was super cool. And then just another ship just comes. I'm like, what?
You couldn't grab it. Not fast enough.
I can get it. Maybe he used a lot of his energy because you said like how Yoda was.
You say that,
he was drained
but then
a little
he
bit.
Immediately pulled Reva to him, and did all stuff with her. Like he was so angry with her and pulled her to him immediately. So if he was that tired, he wasn't. I mean, could have been that tired. I mean, he's half machine. It's like, at least a third.
Yeah. But I just thought that was it. I was like, so there was where was that ship at? Because that's a pretty big ass ship that just like it was just chilling on the floor and then it just popped up and like, it's things like that. It's like what like last week when Martin said with baby legs. I don't know if are you talking, Martin? I can't hear you.
Was it the same size ship or was it like a pod attached to it? That's because I know it was on the other side. It was really weird.
It was so it wasn't a pod attached to it, but it looked like it was a pod being hidden by the other ship. So it was much smaller.
Was it smaller?
Yeah, what was crazy?
It looked like it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch that part, but I wasn't sure.
Well, isn't that kind of crazy? Because I didn't think those people were going to fit on the big ship. So you got into a smaller ship. This is how that worked. Look like the Millennium Falcon. Like it's not how.
Cram a bunch of people in there. Yeah, I don't know. Any other good stuff, bad stuff that you guys can like really, really good?
Yeah, stormtroopers are like the worst.
They can't hit water.
That doesn't make
fell out of a boat.
Like you got Darth Vader, you have probably the baddest man of all time, and then you got stormtroopers as his people that he sends after. Like what? Really? Y'all don't get no training?
Why did they keep hiring these guys? Why?
You have the whole universe of guys you can use.
I don't know. It's interesting. But you know what I did notice about this series, though? There was more women voices inside the stormtroopers than the norm from the past movies. I thought that was kind of cool and interesting. That's not just all meat-headed dudes inside these suits and stuff, or clones or anything like that. I thought it was interesting. But yeah, I one part during that scene though is Tala's a robot was out there shooting the same time, like he had a weapon in his hand. Like this dude's supposed to just move things, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden he has a defensing fuse in him where he's out there shooting. And then there was one guy with the shield out there looking gangster with the shield up, shooting like this over his shield. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, get out of here.
It's nice to know that I wasn't just seeing things with that.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that like these people are just normal people. So, I mean, I guess your hands just over the thing shooting blindly.
But there was other people that are out in the open. What's his name? O'Shea Jackson. Well, I don't remember what his character is. But he wasn't even hiding behind anything. Ice Cube son wasn't even hiding behind anything, and they couldn't hit him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's a laser. It's a laser gun. Come on. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining. Overall, it was very. It was
definitely.
It was like you said, my favorite episode by far. I loved it. So, what are you guys thinking? You want to see how it ends? Because there's still one more episode, and what's gonna happen? What are you guys thinking?
Can I go first in this one? Because I really, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. So something has to happen with Obi-Wan that forces him to stay on Tatooine and watch Luke, because I feel like he's seeing how there's so many people out there fighting this war that are against the Empire. Now he's seeing these things, so opening his eyes, seeing all the Jedi that have been fighting this stuff, and he's been sitting there as a hermit, letting things happen. So something has to happen in the last episode that forces him. I have to watch over Luke. So I mean, I don't know what Reva's going to do. I don't know if Reva's going to run back to Vader, or is she going to somehow make it to a ship or something? You know, how she's going to fall into, but somehow Luke is going to have a watchful eye over him. And I really, because the only way for it all to make sense of him. Ben, he's been over there for empty years. Well, we just saw all the things he just saw and relationship he just had with Leia. How did he decide to go back to being that hermit again? You know, so I think that's going to be interesting, that story.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to have to be addressed at some point or another, whether they cap this off at this season or if the rumored season 2 would happen. You know, like I said, I'd be pleased with it if they just ended it here. I don't really want them to milk it too much, but we'd have to see with a second season. As long as it ends with them just going back into self-exile on Tatooine. But, you know.
What are you thinking, Martin?
I think Reva is gonna somehow use Luke as a leverage. We'll see, because there's gonna be some type of thing where I think, Leia's on her way back or whatever. I think he's gonna go back to his main objective, to watching over Luke. I feel like Reva's gonna be there, try and use her last efforts to try and gain some type of I don't know, because she's still there's still the question that Obi still owes her. There's still that question. I understand, like, they exchanged stories on how they know Annie, but by the way, they did a really good job of definitely coming full circle with her story, which I was glad. Like I said, I'm glad they did that, because I predicted at the beginning that it's going to take some time, and I'm glad they did that. But how many times does she get force push and always lands on her feet? It's amazing. I don't know,
like a cat.
every time. Just lands on her feet, slides like 10 feet. I don't know, but I think her and Obi-Wan have a good battle in the desert somewhere, and then I don't
think so.
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe does she really go and help Anakin after all the things he just stabbed her 10 minutes ago, right? And she's gonna go and help him find out where
Luke and then present it to Vader.
But how much does she hate? So we understand that she hates Obi-Wan because Anakin was his Padawan. He must have did a terrible job.
Like his responsibility.
But you're going to use Anakin to then who do you hate more? I feel like if you hate Anakin more, why would you help him out?
No, I don't think she's going to help either of them. I think she's going to use Luke as a leverage.
She's going to tell him. So she'll
tell him, but I don't think she. I don't know. Maybe she travels Tatooine, tries to take him, and then threatens Luke's life against Anakin. This is your son. I don't know. Like, because he's very interested in that transmitter that she saw.
Yeah, but did you think she would then know? I don't think she ever gets to Luke. I don't think she ever, because Luke doesn't seem to know Obi-Wan at all.
Oh yeah,
she has no idea about what's going on. He's never had any idea of his involvement in any of this stuff, so they can't involve him at all.
Yeah.
It has to be like you can only get within 50 yards of this place and never touch it.
Yeah, I can see Owen coming in and into play and trying to stop her too, or something like that. I don't know. She's my biggest question mark. You know, is she gonna
be an anti-hero, or is she gonna be the real villain?
You know, yeah, is she gonna take? You know, because I see that's my thing too. Is does she know who Luke is, rather than all that she knows is he's important to Obi-Wan? You know, so it's like, oh, is this another apprentice that Obi-Wan's training? Because the message was just like, oh boy, Owen, Tatooine, and then that's all he really got. So, you know, she knew Owen, she knew Tatooine, so, you know, obviously she's going there. But I don't think she knows the true importance of Luke. Maybe she will.
How is she going to get there with a hole in her body?
There's BAFTA tanks
did it
everywhere,
once
man.
You're right. There's a BAFTA tank right there. They probably had one.
Crawl to the corner. Yeah, crawl to the corner. I'm sure there's one in there. Yeah, but she's my biggest not concern, but biggest question mark. I really don't know what's going to happen. But I do see them having a battle. I don't know if she's going to die, because the rumor is she is going to have her own spin-off show. So
that's what makes me think that she's going to be an anti-hero. Somehow she draws Vader away from Tatooine, and somehow she like helps Obi-Wan. So
I'd rather see her become one of those like gray Jedi. We haven't seen one yet. I mean, I guess Ahsoka is technically one in the cartoons, in Rebels and stuff like that. But they never officially said it or anything. And I wouldn't mind seeing Reva be the first official like gray Jedi in Star Wars, or at least in the new Star Wars and stuff like that. And then maybe she just her thing is just going around and saving younglings because she feels like she owes
her family. So I owe you now. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we got that Tala gave that really horrible story of, killing 14 people and 6 of them were kids, because they were force sensitive. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on kids with powers, and I really kind of hope that that's kind of how her story is. Like, okay, leave Tatooine, leave the Skywalker, leave all that shit alone, and make her own story. Like, just do something out of this thing that we've been given for so long. Like Taika is trying to do it.
You can stick her in The Mandalorian, season 3.
I mean, I would even go past that. Just go do something else. Be your own character and your own story and your own thing.
Go wait.
But that's like way long.
But you understand. But if you're saying her film saving younglings,
not go away. But like
that's what it sounds like. Just go. Just go do it.
But if she saves younglings, can you see her with Grogu somehow? Somehow this all matches up. I mean, I'm just saying they can start intertwining some of these things.
Look at Brian manifesting future things after last week. He said, I don't see Star Wars doing any of this, blah, blah, blah. That's what you said. You think that they can't make any more stories. Look at you thinking new episodes and manifesting all this. Look at that.
It's not anything new. It's still taking old stuff.
Okay.
But that's why I want to see
the wheels are turning and you're coming back on our side that they can go with above and beyond with many stories.
But it's not a new story. It's still the same story. It's just in between. It's an in-betwinkle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a new story.
It's a new story to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if she does wind up being on Mandalorian, at that point, she's going to be 20, 30 years older.
Yeah.
So she's going to be almost 50.
Now. But she's only in the show. She's only 21,
Yeah.
If it's 10 years old, she was 11. She's 21 at the most. So 18 years later, she's almost 40.
No, she's gonna be 50 because he's only a kid, and Mandalorian's taking place. He's already a master, so he's already in his Luke is probably already in his late 30s, early 40s. So that's another
he looked young.
20,
He still looked
30 years.
young, right? Luke still looked like 30, and if he's 10. It's 20 years. If she's 20, she could be 40 years old.
40.
They could make a single small scene of her and then kill her off, just like they did Kit Fisto.
Right?
I hear the hurt.
Because it was so dumb. Like, he's a Jedi master, and they killed him in 2 seconds. I was like, no, and nobody who knows anything like as deep besides outside the movies and stuff, they don't know who he is. So,
man. I see the hurt in your face.
He was a great Jedi.
There was a bunch of great ones that they got killed. Very stupidly killed too. But I know.
Brandon sleep.
See what I'm seeing, right?
You sleep?
Almost asleep for a second there. It's been a long week. I'm staying awake. That's why
He hasn't got any questions. That's what he's listening.
Yeah.
Just kind of vibe into imaginary music. That's why my eyes closed.
I don't know.
Overall, what you think, Brandon? Overall,
Yeah, there you go.
Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Like I was saying earlier, I love how the flashback kind of like was the structure and essentially backbone for the narrative. Really liked that. I like how at this point, like I said, we're finally having Obi-Wan in his element, which was awesome.
Mm.
I really liked just about everything about this episode. I like how the display of Vader's powers, the revelation with Reva. I'm sitting here wondering, like you guys were saying, what's going to happen in the final episode? Like, is she going to go full on heroic and end up helping out Obi-Wan and everyone else? Is she going to kind of walk that line? I'm wondering, what's going to happen. It's always a good sign when a show kind of keeps you guessing, just like we're doing tonight, and you don't quite wonder where it's, or you don't quite know, or can even entirely predict where it's going to go. So that's one of the reasons I'm so invested.
We might not know, but Tank knows because he paid attention to all the leaks. Apparently, this episode really did all the leaks were true.
I can't help myself. I can't. Well, because also, even if the leak is true, I still can appreciate and enjoy something. So
you don't know the
just
journey.
Because it's room.
You can watch the journey.
And Derpy, this morning messaged me on Discord. He's like, "Oh my God, the leaks are true." And then here he said the leaks are true. We'll talk the full leaks after next week's episode to know if it's fully true. But the leaks are mostly true. There's like the biggest part, the main biggest part that everyone was losing their mind over on the leaks isn't happening yet. Gotcha. Or it might not happen. But that's the big part. I don't want to ruin it in case it does get true. So we'll talk about that next week. But there's still the main part of the leak that people were getting so upset about. We haven't seen it yet. So, and even if that's the case, I don't mind it. I'm like, whatever. But I mean, there's a lot of other people that did enjoy this episode. One being Star Wars Theory. I'm a big Star Wars Theory fan. I really enjoy his content. I usually agree with most things he says on Star Wars, and he gave this episode a 10 out of 10. He's like, this was amazing. It gave everybody everything they wanted. So, yeah. I don't know. But Martin didn't look happy when I said that.
Oh no, you're good. Avalanche
just
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm over here paying attention to my second favorite sport.
Yeah. So in the comments on Twitter, he was getting a lot of crap for it, but I mean, if somebody likes it, then they like it. If you don't like it, then whatever, but don't bash other people for liking it.
Don't bet. Like I said, that's one of the reasons fandom, unfortunately, has become so toxic. They can't even accept. They don't even have. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't even have the common decency to just accept somebody else's, view. Let people have their thoughts about something. If they don't like it, that's totally fine. They reserve the right to like or dislike it. You can't jump down somebody's throat just because they don't like something as much as you do.
Yeah. Or hate it like you hate it, So, but that's my thing. But we've been going for a little while. Any last thoughts?
Can't wait next week. Let's go.
Stormtroopers are by far the worst military of all time.
Ever.
Have a whole empire.
There you go. That's it.
Out of any movie ever, they're the worst.
Anything.
Yeah. The guy who said, "Oh, let's get stormtroopers and get rid of these clone troopers," like in the Bad Batch, he got to get fired. Yeah.
You know how he's gonna get fired by the Force choke.
My goodness.
Yeah. But cool. But that is it for episode 5 of Kenobi. We all loved it. I thought it was, a great episode. Vader was a badass, even more badass. We're all excited for the next episode, so make sure you guys check out Spoiler Kings next Wednesday. If you want to check us out live. If you're not, you can wait until we put up the edited version of it. But make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of Kenobi episode 5. And if you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about a couple more shows. But we appreciate everybody. We're almost at 250. I just saw that like today.
46.
So
46.
big shout out to everyone for subbing to the channel.
Thank you
Like
so much.
it really does like kind of like blow my mind that people will come and hang out and about us just nerding and geeking out about Star Wars and other stupid stuff. So we really appreciate all the subs. But cool. Let's get out of here on this episode and let's move on to another show. Later.
Later.
Hey guys.
All right.
See you, Martin.
You
I
out here,
know.
man? You know, fish.
Oh,
Wait, so
I
is
see
the game over?
going on. No.
Okay. Or they just scored.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool, man. Later. Shit, there was something else I was gonna say and everything. Oh, yeah. Speaking of like the hate, and stuff like that. So we did our review on House of Dragons, the Game of Thrones thing. For the most part, we get a lot of people coming in, saying positive stuff. They're like, "Oh, this one looks really good." Blah blah blah. There's this, and this. A lot of book fans coming in. And obviously, I think we said we're not fans of season 8. Like it was not good. And somebody came in the comments and said they're like, "Oh, I loved season 8. I thought it was great. It was a perfect ending." And I'm not I'm like, cool.
I don't have to
Like
agree, but
I'm like,
why bash?
I think
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's cool. I'm not someone who loves season 8, but I'm not going to bash their opinion.
Yeah.
I think you
Their
enjoyed
opinion,
it.
absolutely.
That matter. It's valid. This is subjective. I mean, this is wherever you think is also valid too. Doesn't mean it's the end all be all. And when I think this is not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
accept
Yeah,
everyone's opinion.
I don't understand the logic of trying to sway or just failing or refusing to accept somebody else's opinion on something. And that's been unfortunately happening for like a long time. I remember years back when I walked out of The Dark Knight Rises and I said that it was just okay. You should have heard how many messages I got bombarded with. Why was it just okay? Why was it just okay? How was it just okay? Like, because I said I thought it was just okay, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, even for me, I think I responded to that comment where I'm like I even said I'm not gonna bash you for liking it. If you liked it, you liked it. But also, I'm jealous. Like I'm jealous of people who can find like actual enjoyment of stuff like that. Like a lot of the younger kind of kids and other people who like genuinely enjoy the sequels of Star Wars. Like I'm really jealous of that. Even the prequels. Like I don't like the prequels as much. I learned to accept them a little bit more as the years went on. But like the people that are hardcore, like Star Wars Theory, he loves the prequel. I wish that I can love it like that, and I'm jealous that I can't appreciate stuff like that, because I enjoy cinema and TV and stuff like that. So when I don't like something and there's still a lot of people that do like it, I was like, what am I missing? Like what am I missing? And there's just some things I just can't figure out. So
Yeah, I guess.
but yeah, I don't know. I try not to bash,
Unless
so,
Martin says it, I don't bash either. But if Martin says it, I'm bashing.
I mean, I'll bash something. You know what I mean? Like if it sucks, I'll say it sucks. But if somebody says like they like it,
I'm not gonna worry about your opinion.
I'm not gonna say like you're stupid. Like what are you talking about? You know what you're talking about. It's like especially like somebody like Star Wars Theory who that's his job now is Star Wars 24/7. You know what I mean? The man's made a fan film. He's making a second one. And a third one is in the pipeline. So he's kind of like not want to say an expert, but yeah. We got a list in here.
As one, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
That's all.
Ladies, continue.
Thank you. We will continue.
Brandon, you too.
So
it's just us two.
Brandon.
All right.
It's us and Brandon. So we'll get into Miss Marvel. Let me grab something to drink real quick.
No problem.
I don't know. I hate the prequels, but I love each individual like moments in time, like when you see certain things, and I enjoy seeing those things. You know, when you see Anakin training, I enjoy that. When I see Mace Windu, I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing, you know.
Yeah, I have a very complicated relationship with the prequels. there's parts of them that I like, and then other parts just don't work as well for me. And then I think there are things that very much do work kind of here and there.
So yeah,
nice Tank.
Because Alyssa was like, get some Jack Daniels. I love Jack Daniels. Don't get me wrong, but as you get older, you kind of get
you realize it's not the end all be all.
There's some better whiskey bourbon out there. So I love Jefferson. I really do.
I love 1984.
Yeah.
I think
it's pretty good. You're gonna share. You ain't even
out with you
out of high school yet. Like in a couple years when you can actually drink.
Oh hell no! I'm definitely not sharing that. You know how much that costs?
Yeah. Like I never tried. What is that? The Johnny Walker. What color is the one that's like the crazy expensive?
Not the black label.
Red or blue or one of those.
Red or blue. Yeah.
It's like $75 a shot at Vegas. Where's Martin? He's the pro. He's the Vegas professional.
Macallan 25s are like $3,000 a bottle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just nuts.
She's like 25. Oh yeah, the blue one.
You know, the McCallahan, you could get blue label's like $250, but the Macallan 25 you get for like $3,000, $4,000.
She won her state championship for softball.
Hey,
nice.
Good job.
Congrats.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Nice.
That my dad got one like 5 years ago that had been aged for 25 years. Isn't that like all of them though have been aged for like years and years and years?
Yeah, decades sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Macallan 25s. They all come from the same batch though, so that's what. But you can find some older ones still. But a Macallan 13 costs like like $200. Like you know.
Yeah. Yeah, those. Yeah, the 25 year I'm looking at like on one is like this $4,000, or $5,000 some places. Yeah. 1350. No, or those 135 grand, or I missed the zero that first time. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, shoot. Okay, let's see.
I was like, wow.
I'm like, that's
house.
That's
I ain't drinking
a house. Yeah, I ain't drinking a house.
So that's an investment. I'm putting it in the bank. A lockbox.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
my mom was pissed. Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah. She would be like, "Oh, I got some liquor. Oh, cool." Nah, but I'm never opening it. I'm never drinking it. Like, so that's the one thing I never really understood with like I get super expensive liquor, but if I buy it, I want to drink it. You know what I mean? So like if something like that, I'll buy a shot, even though it would be like $100 a shot. Something stupid.
I'll put it like this. What if you had a mint condition Millennium Falcon right now? Would you open the box?
No.
No,
that's different.
Oh, it's not. It's the same thing.
I can display that. I'm not gonna play with it,
and I can display my alcohol too. Macallan 25. I'll have it right here all the time. Like, just follow me. I'll display all the alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's that kind of stuff is like I can throw it on the wall and it's like a piece of art. You know, the liquor, I guess too.
It's also a piece of art.
Yeah,
trust me, she saw me in college. I had art all over the apartment.
Oh, I have a whole. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that. But I have a whole where my dining room table is. I have two stands, and one is all my glasses. You know, I have like a whole tiki shelf, a bunch of all the other stuff, and then the other shelf, the whole other stand is all liquor. Like, and it's even on the floor because I'm running out of space. So this is my extra bottle of Jefferson's that I just leave down here for the morning spike. So for our spike bet, there we go. Spike bet shop.
Let's go.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's my drinking Jefferson bottle.
Yeah, Miss Marvel now.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. We're going still strong with our live show today. So now we're gonna get into Miss Marvel. So same thing, we're gonna get into spoilers and everything. So if you're watching on replay, make sure you pause the video, go check out that episode on Disney Plus. Come back and let us know what you thought about Miss Marvel episode 2. Oh, excuse me. But right off the bat, what do you guys think? How'd you guys like it?
I liked it probably around the same amount that I liked the first episode, which I liked very, very much. I liked how it kind of continued. It kind of continued in a lot of ways that I kind of figured it would. Kamala getting a little more confident, in terms of herself. They did a repeat of her walking down the hall, and instead of her getting walked all over by everyone, she was basically just owning everyone. I loved that part. This show, would not work if Iman Vellani wasn't so goddamn likable. That's she's really selling me on Kamala Khan. I like the show has just this very good natured, just kind of innocent vibe to it, which obviously is very appropriate considering what type of character Kamala is. I like that, at first I kind of had a problem with the power change up. I know that we kind of discussed that last week. She essentially has Green Lantern powers with making constructs and that sort of thing. I am interested to see where that goes further. And another thing that I really liked is they didn't dwell too much on the disagreement that she had with her mother last week on her parents. It was like, oh, I snuck out. Oh, it's okay. Let's move on. So I like how reasonable her mother is being.
Yeah,
like I said,
no. There is never going to be a strict. She seems like she's coming from a strict Indian or Pakistani. I think it's Indian.
Pakistani.
It's a Pakistani household, right? So, but. So you snuck out of the house the week before, and then she's like, "I'm sorry for that. Can I go to the party tomorrow?" What? I don't know what parent would ever say yes. You snuck out like the week before, and then now Friday you get to go to a party. What?
I think I kind of feel like that's her parents' attempt to kind of, because she even called them out for the the unfairness, between
Brandy, she came home at 1:00 in the morning.
But no, just hear me out. Just hear me out. She kind of called out like how unfair they were being towards her versus her brother. I think her parents are just trying to be a little more fair in that regard. And she's at that phase in her life. She's just, we're talking about a 16-year-old girl in that rebellious phase. I think her parents are at least trying to put in a little bit of an effort to be reasonable. That's what I'm kind of getting at. Granted, I come from a family where that obviously that sort of thing wouldn't fly. At that, if like my ass would be grounded for a month.
Yeah, you see that their parents were already very strict, and as a parent, there's no way that if I was already strict, that I was gonna be like, that's sneaking out. I got you. It's all right. Go ahead, go to this party. It's all right. I have no problem with it.
That said, I did kind of like that. I kind of feel like if they did the opposite, it kind of would have bogged down the storyline. I like it ties into the pacing of the show. I like how the show's moving in that regard. So
but they could have said 2 weeks later, because you were on ground. We don't have to watch her be grounded for a week. We just know that she was grounded for a week, and then her parents say, okay, now you faced your punishment. We're going to try to meet you halfway. I just thought that was kind of weird that immediately, the first time she finally apologized, I'm sorry for what I did last weekend. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Can I go to a party? Sure. These are the same parents who won't let you go to the AvengerCon? That didn't make sense to me. As a parent, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have any kids, so you know.
Yeah, but it was definitely like Brandon said, it was for the story, you know, because then having overly protective parents would be more, I think, accurate, but it wouldn't be fun to watch. I think, you know what I mean.
Couldn't you just make it a week later? Couldn't you just push it 1 week out and just say, all right, you were suspended this last week, you're okay now?
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I think time jumps nowadays, I think Fantastic Four 2015. So I'm kind of happy they didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's been a week.
Yeah,
but but everything else you said, I totally agree with. I like that they started to jump into the other people, the other characters, you know, in her life, you know, and seeing. Yeah. Her friendships and how strong the friendships are, and seeing the strength of what's her name? Her best friend they when they were in mosque.
Yeah, that was it. Nikki.
Nakia. And then even how strong of a character she is saying, I couldn't hear you through this gate. And I can't see you anymore, so I can't really understand what you're saying. Like saying those things, calling out the hypocrite, being hypocritical. You know, like you want me to do this to say that like this, but then I'm going to still voice my opinion. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I really liked what her friend went to her dad. He's like, you know. We're best friends. I'm best friends with Kamala. And, you like my dad, so I'm like your daughter, right? So, of course, you're going to vote for me, right? And the look on his face was a look that I understood 1,000%. Like, wow. Everything I thought I was going to do, none of that matters anymore. The girls got me.
Yeah. I even said it like to my girlfriend, like, well, that was happening. I'm like, I feel so bad for that man. Like he's legit, like he just wants everyone to be happy and like he wants the best for his daughter and everything, and he keeps getting put in the middle of these really crap situations, and I feel so bad for him.
He is the purest character on the show.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. Yeah. Like even when he's telling his daughter-in-law the story of his wife's kind of family, with the partition, I think it was called, which I'm completely ignorant with that, so I have no idea what that is. Which after watching this episode, I think I want to look more into it. Yeah, because it seems like it's going to be also like for me to know, but also it seems like it's going to play a big part in the show. So at least knowing the history of something like that sounds like something I want to know anyway. And plus, I love world history. But yeah, so it's just like him telling his was it Aisha. His daughter or future daughter-in-law telling him the story it's like he's just so good-hearted and he's just like I don't know. I like that man is awesome, and he better not get hurt or bothered. I don't want to see like somebody hurting him more than he already got hurt in that first episode.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything befall him, anything bad befall him. I like the family as a whole. I like how I like the route they've gone with them. Everyone is just they've made very engaging characters and very easy and fun to watch characters.
I enjoyed that mosque and seeing the different and how they explained it. Like we had this group and then this group, and these are the guys who came that aren't necessarily from aren't born Muslim, but this is what they are. And like I feel like there was so many different groups and different type of people. And then it was really cool how like their daughter-in-law being a black woman is also cool because they're very inclusive, and it wasn't like they treated her differently or anything because she's still a Muslim just like them, and it was very inclusive. And I think that's kind of the key thing I'm getting from inclusion. And how how the mother even accepts Bruno. Like I feel like all that inclusion is very cool in this show. I enjoy seeing it.
Yeah.
Same.
Even the Bon Jovi thing, I thought was cool. It was like
that was great.
Sorry, my cat just like jumped somewhere he's not supposed to. It scared the shit out of me. I didn't see like a shadow jump up. But yeah, the Bon Jovi thing was like really cool. It was like, oh my God, see, some things transcend like
Yeah.
like
Religion,
stuff like that.
time, all that. Yeah.
And Bon Jovi, of course, Bon Jovi, and so that I thought was like super funny. And then it makes so much sense. They're from Jersey,
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Like you can't be from Jersey and not like Bon Jovi, especially the older audience. So yeah, I thought that was super awesome. I thought that was and funny. So
What you guys think about Cameron? Was it Cameron?
Cameron?
Yeah.
It's Cameron. Cameron.
Interested in seeing where they go with him. I kind of had a feeling there was a little more to him than just the typical romantic interest when he showed up. So we'll see. I'm curious about him, and I'm curious about this organization that wants to bring in Kamala, because obviously they're not SHIELD. I'm pretty sure they're not SWORD. They mentioned the FBI, so they're obviously not the FBI.
Yeah, so I looked it up. They had a DODC, which is Department of Damage Control. So the damage control were the guys who basically told Vulture and his guys, like, shoo, we're handling it now.
That's who they are. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, it said DODC, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I obviously Googled it. I was like, yeah, okay. So it's like this government group that Tony Stark started, I guess, or funded to help.
Basically bankrolled them.
Yeah, it's because of the Accord. Is it because of that?
I think it was because of.
This was before the
Avengers
Accord. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the alien stuff. The alien.
Oh, okay, yeah, the alien. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
But then I think it became the Accord, stuff like that. I think it might be a different, like a bastardized version of what Tony wanted it to be. Which obviously, like everything with a good idea becomes corrupt and evil at some point. And I think I don't like them. I just don't. I don't get what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're mad shady.
That's why I was asking even with Cameron, because I guess he's from wherever her mother is from, and they're watching over her, and they put him in place at that time to watch over Kamala. And I thought that was interesting. I wonder if he's not even in high school.
Yeah, he looks so much older.
It was like he was driving. He got this nice car. I was like, yeah, he got me like. At least 20. It reminded me of Bad Boys when the boyfriend came over. You at least 30. We talking about in high school. Talking about you in high school. That don't make any sense. But I thought that was interesting. And then his mother saying anything at the end. I think she's going to learn more about herself. And I really like the fact that they said specifically your powers are coming from you. The bracelet is help unlock it, but everything's coming from you. So it wasn't like it's not like the Green Lantern, because it's not like a ring that you're wearing. It's actually coming from her. So I did like that too.
So that and I think the further they go into that, that's going to work just as well as her, as her powers in the comics, with her having the Inhuman genes. So I think it's all going to ultimately work out.
It's almost like they are giving her the Inhuman gene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like they're saying you have this in you already. It's like you're saying you're a mutant without saying the words.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they'll officially say it at one point or another, something like that. Because the Inhumans were brought in by the Kree, I believe, or something like that. And was it the Kree? Something to do with one of the races from from Captain Marvel, I believe, or something like that, right? There like experiments or some shit. So I mean, it's all really kind of getting full circle when you start pulling back and like, oh, wait a minute, maybe she still might be Inhuman. This is just how to get her started, because you can't start a show like, oh yeah, she walked into a fog and now she has powers, so. Yeah, I mean, that barely worked in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was like, what, season 5 at that point? So, yeah, I think they're tiptoeing around it. That I think eventually is going to
finally just say it. This is what this is.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. What else do you guys think? About like, some good stuff, some bad stuff, some funny parts of it. What do you guys got?
I think one complaint I have is, some of the things felt a little too obligatory, like with Bruno being obviously jealous of Cameron. And I was sitting there kind of asking him, so did the counselor said he got into Caltech? Am I thinking on?
Yep. And he has early entry, so he's going to be able to go now.
Yeah. So
is it early entry or just like a summer
I think
a semester program?
A semester program, yeah.
A semester program.
Yeah.
And we already know he's probably going to end up declining it just for the sake of being near Kamala. I'm sitting there thinking, like, boy, if you don't take that,
man, I would beat my son so bad. I mean, you live above a grocery store. You going? Going, man? Like, come on, no, let's not play. This is it. It's Caltech.
Yeah.
But he loves her,
He's 16. Everyone thinks they love each other.
Yeah, I know. But that's the whole like teenage drama part that they're playing in on.
Yeah.
So.
I'd say that was my biggest thing. That was so a lot of my what little problems I had were just kind of in terms of the narrative and kind of where they went with the story in certain parts, but it wasn't really enough to like take away from the show. Like I said, I very much enjoyed it pretty much from beginning to end. I'm loving the tone of this show. I'm loving the route that it's taking. I've purposely tried to avoid reading up too much of it or on it, so it's very much keeping me invested.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
I am. There are times where I feel like it is a little CW-ish. And when I say it, it's probably a little bit different than everybody else that says this, because I still watch The Flash. I watched every episode, every season of Supernatural, every episode of Supernatural there's ever been. Like I watched CW. I watched some of it, so like, but some of it is a little bit like that. But that's what happens when you have teenagers. I mean, I feel like that's just a natural thing. That happens, and it's awkward a little bit because we've all been through it. And I think, especially if you were a nerd in high school, you really can enjoy and appreciate the way they're acting.
Yeah,
and the things they're going through. But it doesn't mean that it's any less than that. And I'm enjoying her powers and her learning herself, and I'm also enjoying that she's not like a freaking master already. Like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna go save the day. And then no, you still gonna mess up. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. You start figuring your stuff out. I feel like Marvel is doing it the right way. They're not like saying like, you go out tomorrow and be like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. No, you don't know what the hell you're doing. So you still figuring these things out. And I think that's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Like her saving the kid from the thing. I thought just a kid hanging out the window. I'm like, really? Like you have to hang out the window? But again, that's just kind of like the thing that they throw in to be silly. But her trying to talk the kid down a little bit, like pizza ice cream. I'm sure has got to be trending now. Like if you go on Twitter, And then that's what I even said. I'm like when the kid was like, "Oh, pizza ice cream," and then I'm like, then it cuts to the fat guy down at the bottom. I don't say fat guy, but the big guy down there, and he's like, "Say pizza ice cream," or like he was all
hey, we can say that. We can call him fat. It's okay.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah.
Brandon can't say that. You're not allowed. Yeah. But us, we can say that. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was for sure funny. Because there's this thing going on, and somebody says food, and he's like, "Oh, food? That's a So that was funny, but just her doing the superhero landing, I think my girlfriend.
Like that. Oh my god!
I'm like, but it makes sense with her because she's trying to be a superhero. It's not superhero. So it's her doing the stuff that she sees on TV and this and that, where Natasha and stuff like that, how is this a trope? And then what's her name? I can't remember the sister's name.
Yelena.
Was making
Elena.
fun of it. Yeah, Elena was making fun of it and winds up doing it. So that's just like super funny. But I'm really interested in these the way the episode ended with seeing what was her name, the mother of was it Cameron's?
Cameron's mom. Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, I love what he just said. Hold on, I got to say.
I just see.
Yeah, speaking of Spider-Man, don't you think she would be a fan of Spider-Man since they're both in New York and he is a teen, but no mention of him at AdventureCon because they don't remember who he is.
No, they don't remember Peter Parker.
They don't remember Peter Parker,
but they know
that there's Spider-Man.
They remember Spider-Man. But
that is a good point, then, right?
Yeah, that is a good point.
I mean, it's just like across the little straight, like
Yeah,
right there.
But also,
we didn't even see anyone in a Spider-Man costume at AdventureCon.
At AdventureCon, which he should be the number one Avenger if you're talking about what he's saying. That's probably right.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. I was like, he was introduced in Civil War when it was fighting at a airfield. So that wasn't out in the open, so people aren't going to see it. Like, besides this being his neighborhood, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I mean, what else did he do that
all
people
the
are going to
Spider-Man
really
movies and it's being all over the billboards and
yeah, but that's more local.
That's
he's
more
he's very much a street level hero.
But he was also there during Civil War. Everyone knows about that, but everyone knew that it was all the rest. They knew about Ant-Man and all this other stuff. So I mean,
yeah.
Well, Ant-Man is a podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious. But I mean, obviously they couldn't do Spider-Man because of Sony, but it would make sense.
Yeah. At least to mention something. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, being right there. I mean, Captain America, I get he's from that Jersey area, I think, or his military camp. His military camp was in Jersey. That's what it was. But yeah, he's Brooklyn.
Held there.
Yeah. It said home of Captain America or something like that.
Home of Captain America, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it should be more Spider-Man stuff. But I mean, this show got a little bit of issues. Like, why was Ant-Man's head so heavy? like it became like a boulder. I was like, what the hell in the first episode?
Yeah, why was it rolling like that? And Zoe getting hit by the Mjolnir hammer and just like I don't know, she must have bones made of adamantium or something like that.
Yeah, right.
For a healing factor. She didn't even have a mark on her.
Yeah.
That thing hit her hard.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it would like at least knock the wind out of a person. Like, there's no way she's holding on to that thing. Like, it hits her and she goes flying out the window. So, but it was I mean, it's at the end of the day, it still is a preteen kid kind of friendly show.
And that's what I was trying to say with this. That's calling it CW-ish, but it's still a preteen type of show. That's just what it is.
Yeah, definitely very, very kid friendly. Like I said, I like that change of pace. I like that. I like how many subgenres that MCU has been going into, and this is like a, like a teen tween show. I'm enjoying it. I'm very, very happy with it so far.
Yeah. I think as long as you understand what it is, for me, I'm able to put my mindset in that, when like Doctor Strange is a horror film, like, well, not a crazy like horror film, but is, in the genre. And it definitely had its moments, so it was like, so you're kind of in a different mode or mood, like of when you're sitting. Same thing with this. Like if you're telling me like it's made for a younger audience, it's going to be more kid friendly. Cool. I can put myself in that kind of headspace and still enjoy it. I'm not going to expect like Loki level, like issues, what I mean? Like with, like falling in love with yourself and this and that, and like that's not going to happen in this one. So it's just is what is even the cartoon with What If, that's canon and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying all these different genres. Just keep it coming. Try different things.
Exactly. This is Disney Plus. Try different things. Why not? But I just want to end this conversation with saying Loki was so good. It was just so good.
I mean, that's the way how you start off a streaming service.
Oh man,
probably my favorite of the MCU Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, I think that's number 1 and 2 for me. Mm-hmm. I'll push everyone else down a level just because I like Loki that much.
It was Loki and then Sylvie in Loki.
Exactly.
Her story, yeah. But so what are your final thoughts, or where do you want to see the next couple episodes go? Now we're starting to get some more backstory.
Yeah. I think we're gonna find out he's part of this group that's been watching them, like the Eye. It's something that's been watching it for a long time, knowing that she had the powers. It skipped her mother, and she kind of pushed away from it, and now they've been looking for her. She's gonna find out a lot more about her great grandmother, and that she wasn't as bad as everyone's saying. She was actually just a very strong, powerful woman. And when you're doing that back in the 1900s, that's not always thought. Women are not thought the same way. So that's why she's thought she did all these bad things, and she was so terrible, and they're looking at her that way, and she's gonna find out that she wasn't anything like that. She was inhuman or a mutant, and did all these great things. So I think that's where we're going next for the next couple of episodes.
I'd agree with that. I'd say we're. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, do you? You can answer this one too, Brandon. Are him and his mom good guys or bad guys? What side are they gonna be on? What do you guys think?
I could see them potentially being allies to Kamala. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. At the same time, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they're playing for the bad side, whoever the bad side really is. I think there's something much bigger going on, obviously, than damage control. I am curious to see who or what like the main villain is. So I think starting the next episode, they're gonna hopefully start kind of getting into that. You don't want to hold off on that for too long. So I'm thinking that, and kind of more insight into Kamala's her grandmother, the rest of her family that we haven't seen yet, and just an explanation as to what these powers are
and where they came from.
Where they came from, more importantly. So that's what I'm waiting for, and that's what I'm thinking we're gonna start getting come next episode.
Yeah. I was reading a theory that we were saying last week that Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, or even Monica Rambeau might show up at the end. There's a theory that what if it's Wong? Because you can kind of already tie these into the 10 Rings in Shang-Chi, with being this ancient kind of power, that's magical, mystical, cosmic and stuff. So it's like maybe Wong winds up bringing her in and starts collecting these ancient relics, stuff like that. Like I think they're setting up something bigger that we don't know yet, and it's going to be something big and old. I think
it has to be, because as of right now, I don't see 6 episodes coming from what we know right now. So that means it has to be this big bad guy that has to be built up that we're going to find out about. Yeah, episode 3.
Yeah, I was talking about just the MCU in general. I think is getting ready for the next Thanos level kind of thing, and I think it's going to be very old. Just by the way they've been talking about the 10 Rings, this seems like another thing that might be very old. Like she couldn't read the letters on it. She's like, I think it's this, but she wasn't sure. So interesting stuff like that.
And I wouldn't rule out Wong showing up. I'm hoping that it's Brie Larson, that it's Captain Marvel, just because I think that would bring everything full circle. Have her show up to Kamala, say a few words, say she's a fan of her YouTube channel, and then have like Kamala faint or something like that. I think it would just bring things full circle with how much of a diehard fan Kamala is, and I think that would be like the ultimate reward for her before we see them all together in the Marvels next year.
Yeah,
I think that would be that's my ideal, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd be fine.
You're not alone.
Yeah, but I'd be fine with Wong showing up, as we're going into kind of the more mystical, kind of cosmic elements of Marvel. I could see Wong basically being like the next couple phases Nick Fury. I could see that being the case, which would be fun. And Wong's always a fun character to watch. So anything he shows up with in any capacity, I'm game.
Yeah,
I think I want to see a tie-in with Kang sometimes right now. I think this is the time to start tying in some Kang in. And he could be future, he could be old, he could do all those things. I think you need to start doing that, even if it's not him specifically, but at least the seed being, because he is, in my mind, he is the big bad that they're really everyone's going to have to fight against, and he is epic. So I feel like you need to start really putting seeds in every story. I think it would have been perfect in Moon Knight, but they just didn't know if
definitely.
I didn't know how Oscar Isaac was going to be, So, but I think that he has to be the main, not the principal bad guy, but the main thought behind all the bad guys. They all have to connect to him somehow.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they did with Thanos. Even though we didn't even know they were doing that with Thanos, later on you go back and you watch all the movies, 23 of them, and you're like, they all connect to him somehow. So I can see that. I can see that. Just who is it going to be, and it's going to be something that we'll find out like in 5 years from now. Like who's the ultimate bad guy? Hopefully it is Kang, but it might not. It might be something even bigger. I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, this episode was pretty awesome. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm assuming the same as me, but this show does not deserve all this hate it's getting. On IMDb, it's getting like review bombed, which is stupid. Rotten Tomatoes, it's a little bit there too, but this show is so much fun, and it doesn't deserve all this hate. And a lot of the hate is it's stupid. Where people are like, I can't relate to this. They're not, white Christian males. It's like, I mean, like there's one video. Well, real quick, there was one video I was watching, and he was reading the comments, and there was basically one that said almost exactly that, like not even. And so,
I've never seen something have a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.2 on IMDb. Like a 6.2? What? It's stupid.
It's just, and people who say I can't relate to him. Yeah, you could relate to a to a white billionaire with a big electromagnet in the middle of his chest who builds a suit of armor. You can relate to a frail kid from Queens who basically gets super steroids pumped into him and carries around a shield. Oh no, but you can relate to a demigod from another realm. You can relate to it. You can relate to a dude who can shrink. Yeah. Just say I'm angry. It's not a straight white male. Just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Lord says it's because critics want every show to be aimed towards adults or to them, and it doesn't have to be. Nothing needs to be. It has to be towards you. And Marvel's doing the right thing, setting up young Avengers. I mean, they're going to have so many different groups, exactly what we have in all the comics. They're doing it right, and you know what it's going to do? It's going to have so many different avenues that can put stories out in. It's going to make these huge Avenger movies even better.
Yeah,
it's going to make it even better.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's really not the critics that are giving the issues. It's fans. IMDb lets anybody kind of write a review. Again, that video I was watching, somebody wrote multiple reviews with the same name, but they had to spell their or use one was all caps. It said David R or whatever, and then one was all small letters, and one was like a cap here and a small letter here. So it was legit the same person, and just copied and paste 5 different reviews, all at a half a star. So. I mean, you're gonna get stuff like that, and it's just annoying. But I mean, for me,
like you are one pathetic loser.
You would make 5 accounts. Yeah. So again, like, and if you're watching live, we're talking about bashing on people that like something that you might not have liked. And this, if you don't like it, then cool, don't watch it. But instead, you're just trying to ruin it for everybody. And then. To me, you're not really a comic book fan of the Marvel universe, and just not a fan in general. You're just kind of
no.
I know. Yeah, Brandon said that.
He's a douche.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
You're just an incel, but it's easy. It's easy to have like such a narrow view of the world when you don't know anything beyond your mother's basement. So
yeah, but we're gonna keep talking about this show. We all like it. Here, so
and it has its place, and it makes sense, and it's going to bring all these kid things that we're seeing on Disney Plus. They're going to all come together, and it's exactly what you're going to want.
Yeah. It's got to be paving the way for Young Avengers. Thank you, Mom.
Got the mom stamp of approval.
But yeah, it's got to be gearing up towards Young Avengers. We got Miss Marvel, we have Kate Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop. I wouldn't be surprised Kate Bishop I think comes in this little miniseries. She shows up.
Yeah,
I think she's the one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm pretty sure come Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I'm pretty sure Cassie Lang's going to end up becoming Stature.
Yeah.
So they might even bring Speed and Wiccan back. From like the Doctor Strange multiverse of Madness. I'm sure they'll come.
Age them up one more time.
Yeah. Age them up one more time.
Or they come from 838.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But is it another? Yeah, just a whole nother universe, something like that. I don't know, but yeah. I have a really bad segue into our next one.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm all for it.
Well, then before we get, but I just want to say a big shout out. Thank you everyone watching live. Make sure you check out if you're watching a replay, make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about Miss Marvel episode 2, where you want to see it go. But since we were kind of talking about like asshole racist people, I feel like the next show that we're going to talk about is the perfect show to talk about, racist assholes. Right? So if you're watching live, stick around. If you're watching on replay, make sure you check out our review on Boys episode 4. But let's get right into that conversation. Right. But on replay, guys, see you guys later.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was just like, yeah, we're talking about like a bunch of a-hole racist people. So The Boys is right up that alley. I mean, they had literal Nazis last season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're talking Boys episode 4. We already did episode 1, 2, and 3 all together. They all came out at once. So make sure you go check out that video of us talking about it. If you're watching on replay, we're talking spoilers and everything. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, come back, let us know what you thought about it. If you're watching live, spoilers, just so you know, because this one ends on a big old doozy. Like a big old man. I think Brandon said was it like Monday, I think? Or not even. I think it was like Friday or something. You said, you guys watch it?
Have you seen this?
Yeah. And now I know why you said it.
I think it was like right when I finished it up.
Yeah, just nice. And then now I understand why. Like I watched it. I watched it this today during my lunch, so nice and fresh.
Well, since you were the first one to watch it, Brandon, why don't you go ahead and talk about this first? What did you like?
I'm so amazed, and I know I talked about this last week, just how quickly they jumped they basically like just raw. They're just raw dogging us this season, man. In terms of in terms of shock value, the social satire, just the gore and violence factor. Like this is easily the most extreme season, as far as I'm concerned, in every sense of the word, and I mean that in the best possible way. I'm really happy with the boys because I also think this is one of those rare instances where the show or the adaptation is actually an improvement over the source material.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that this season is basically like anxiety in show form. Like I'm legit on the edge of my seat, and it's very seldom that I am so much on the edge of my seat. There were a few parts that were even just plain unsettling, especially like the final confrontation, or not the final confrontation, but the end of the episode with Soldier Boy. What ends up happening with Supersonic? A-Train can go to hell, by the way. Just when I was thinking he was cool.
I thought he might become a hero. He might become on the other side. It might be to work with Huey, after what he did to his girlfriend. And now I'm like, man, he got to go.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying the show works so well. It kind of keeps you guessing and keeps you takes you by surprise in the best possible way. And I think like one scene that really stood out, and I'm kind of curious to see the path that Huey in particular goes down, because at the end, he was so euphoric with the powers from Compound V that he had gotten, he wasn't even paying attention to what happened to Kamiko like 2 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So give someone a doormat, give someone who's basically spent their whole life as a doormat that level of power, and something bad is bound to happen. So I'm interested to see where they go with that. Yeah, I was just like, damn, great episode. This season they're really, really bringing it.
Is she dead?
I don't think that she's going to be dead. I'm kind of curious to see.
She's basically Wolverine. So
yes.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. You bury her, and then give her a little time, and she goes back.
And I think we're going to get more answers when Friday rolls around. Like if Soldier Boy is like, if he completely strips away your powers, or if he like basically like neutralizes them temporarily. I'm kind of inclined to think it might be the latter. Like he just temporarily neutralizes
takes
powers.
Yeah.
But even that's like huge.
Which you can kill Homelander with.
And it's a big DV. Yeah. Obviously that must have been the weapon they were talking about getting access to. And I'm interested. I think it's cool that they kind of changed up his powers from the comics. In the comics, he was just basically like a straight up Captain America knockoff, Captain America parody of sorts. So I'm interested to see further where they go. And I've read like rumors and interviews. They're saying this dude's going to be like worse than Homelander, which is really something.
Yeah. I heard the rumors on that too.
Yeah,
well, they kind of foreshadowed that too. I mean, we saw what he was at the war. During the battle, we see what he was doing. He was about. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is going to be something.
Yeah, this is going to be tripped out. Really, really, really liking this season so far.
Yeah. Sorry, I got my cat parrot on my shoulder.
Why don't you go first? You go second. I'll go last.
We go. Yeah, man. I didn't see what was Huey's my biggest thing going on. Hey, thank you, Omar. Because I really wasn't sure what was gonna happen with Huey. Like, is he gonna take it? Is he not gonna take it? And then on top of that, he gets like super speed, like A-Train of all people.
That was
all people.
Oh my
I was
god!
Like, what? So that's just kind of like karma. Yeah, and the way he was just acting about it, you just put your entire arm through somebody's chest, dude. Like, and he was happy and smiling and like you said, like euphoric, and it sucks to see. And everyone was more mad at Huey than they were at.
Everyone was
Butcher.
blaming Butcher. They're like, Butcher.
They're blaming Butcher.
How would you allow this to happen to him? He's the
Yeah.
good one. He's the one that we're supposed to be protecting. How would you allow this to happen?
There's always a Jiminy Cricket. I always like refer that, like the conscience of the group, especially in like something like The Boys, and it was always Huey. But now Huey, he's gone down this road, and I think it was at the end of episode 1, it already kind of happened. In episode 2, he's just flat out. He goes, "We need to do it your way." I was like, "Damn, Huey, really?" Like he just like said, "F it," But Huey's the big one, and then I think the next episode, I'm really curious of what's going to happen with the Soldier Boy. Like, was he the weapon now? That's kind of the question, or was the weapon used on him? Like, so many questions with that. I'm so freaking excited to watch it. Like Brandon said, like sitting at the edge of your seat, and that was like me at work. I'm just like sitting there watching on my phone because it's blocked on my computer. So and I don't think I would watch it on my work computer anyway. Just because there's some
By the way, side note, Laz Alonso's acting, Mother's Milk, top tier. When he tells Soldier Boy, get out of that, that tank. That look of fear, dread, hate, confusion. So we sleep on Laz Alonso as Mother's Milk. Well, he's one of my favorite characters in the show anyway, but great acting from him in particular. I gotta single him out. That was great.
Yeah, even the way the episode started, kind of with him watching Solid Gold or something with a replay of with Soldier Boy on it. Yeah, so that was kind of like funny, but it was like you kind of got glimpses of what happened, like how he killed. So it was like some kind of car crash that Soldier Boy might have caused. So I'm curious to know what's going on with that. But I really like that we're getting more of everyone else's backstory a little bit more. Like Frenchie is getting at some. I wish he had a little bit more, but definitely Mother's Milk. Ooh, Marvin, but he's always Mother's Milk. MM, they call him a lot, but yeah, he's really interesting. He even told him why he came to the boys, or why Butcher brought him to the boys. He's like, yeah, because I'm the asshole, but you're the guy that keeps them together.
You're the glue.
Yeah. So at the end of this, he's like, yeah, you ripped this team so much apart.
There's nothing to glue. There's nothing else to glue.
Without Huey
and without Kimiko, what do you have? And Frenchie is hanging on the thread. That's why I hope she's not dead, because Frenchie is ready to just and he loses it. And he can go crazy. I think he's like one step away from just going ballistic, and I don't think anyone could control him. He's allowing someone to control him. No one's gonna be able to control him then.
Yeah. Like he I could see him being like one bad day away from basically being the Punisher.
yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean, seeing especially them two of all the boys she's the Wolverine of the group, but she's also the innocent one. You know what I mean? Like it was never meant for her, so she's like, like a child, And then Huey is the good guy, and now they're kind of both gone almost. Like, is she gonna live or die? I think she's obviously gonna live. And then Huey is just literally on a power trip right now. Yeah. So it's really weird or interesting that they're taking those two characters and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take them who we introduced to the boys, who made the group better, and pull them out and see if the boys can still operate like how they did back then. But I'm loving this show so much, And I didn't know what they can do after last season, and every episode since the first one is crazier and crazier and cooler. Homelander is so scary now because he's so smart and he's playing the game, and he is a true force to be reckoned with now.
Yeah,
He's unstoppable and he's likable by the masses. So damn.
Oh, likable by the masses, by the fringe, for the population that voices their opinion the most. They like him, being that crazy guy.
Yeah.
This episode was just jolting. Everything that happened was just like, wow. Like, I think Huey's going. We're going to solve this Huey thing. I think they're going to start the next episode with Huey throwing up and having the worst hangover of his life. You ever seen someone that had that first time drinking and having it going crazy, and then they don't remember all the stuff that happened, and they're going to have to be told about what happened, and they're going to have the just all these bad reactions. I think that's going to be Huey.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to realize that this power thing is not for me. This is not for me. And I think Butcher's going to be the one that's going to be addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's already taken it more than once.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Yeah,
he didn't even need it.
But that's the thing. Like an addict justifies the reason why they're using. He's like, well, it's just this one time, just for now. And you definitely start seeing that happen.
Yeah, and he even because he even tried to justify it the second time by saying glass emergency type thing, I believe was his line. So
he's like, you expect me to be a douche. This Butcher is, I don't know, he's so much like Homelander, it's scary. I feel like that eventually by the end of this season, they're going to be on the same side fighting against Soldier Boy. And I think Butcher might be alone. I think that everyone else might take a step away from him, and he might be alone, and he's going to be left in shambles, and he was going to, go back and pick him up and nurse him back to health and all that stuff. Because I think everyone else is going to leave him. Everyone's going to say, I can't follow this guy. He's too much.
What about Ryan? I
don't know.
The the little boy.
Maybe Ryan's what brings him back. You think? I mean, I don't know, because Ryan can smell when he's doing these things. It's like your dad's an alcoholic.
It could be.
And you can smell the alcohol on. I know what's going on, man. And you're really working with the guy who killed my mom. It doesn't matter if it's his dad, but you really working with the guy that killed mom. And that what slaps him back, brings him back to reality. He has to go back with his tail between his legs and ask for everyone's forgiveness. And I don't know if anyone's going to be there to do it. And I don't know what the hell Starlight's about to do. Oh man!
Oh god, yeah, she's like this.
And that she has to be in a room with all of them. She has to be in a room with the guy who kind of raped her, and then you have Homelander. This is just going to be so bad for her. Everywhere she looks, she's going to hate every single person.
Yeah, and now alongside A-Train, the guy who friggin' snitched her only friend that was a member of the Seven out.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'm curious to see how that works out, especially for the in the case of A-Train and the Deep, just all the bootlicking they're doing towards Homelander.
Well, they're afraid. They're afraid.
Yeah. I wonder how if it's going to backfire on them or if something's going to happen. But yeah, they're definitely afraid. They're going to be out for themselves, and that A-Train shit was not cool. Like I'm like, screw this guy.
I think Starlight has to go back to Queen Maeve.
Just starting to warm up to him too.
Starlight has to go back to Queen Maeve. That has to be the person that she is with. You're training. I'm training. If we have to do this to kill him, this is what we're going to do. And that's the only person she could hold true to her. You can't deal with. I can't believe they let the Deep still be there. I don't know. I don't know what else you can do.
Well, the Deep is only there for a mind F for Starlight. Like that's the only reason he's there. It's just like you need to mess with her head, and then the whole A-Train thing. Like Brandon said, you're rooting for him. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe he's starting to get a soul, and he's starting to feel something. and then he does that.
Nope,
I was like,
sells him out
oh
immediately.
man. And I thought it was gonna be the other way around. I thought Supersonic was gonna be the one who betrays him because he was accepting everything too much, too easily. He's like, okay, I'll help you. Yeah,
yeah.
You know,
or if Homelander did get onto him and murder him, I was thinking it wasn't going to be until like the later half of the season, or towards the end.
He only got 2 episodes. That was like
episodes,
so bogus.
Yeah, well, technically 4, kind of, since they put out the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I guess technically he died in the 4th episode. We didn't really see him in the 1st episode, but he was there. Yeah, he was there. You're right. Yeah, 4 episodes, you're out. Yeah, like four speaking parts, and then you're dead.
Crazy.
What about what Victoria Newman did? Did that surprise you guys?
What part? Yeah, I was gonna say that, or her selling out Edgar.
Selling out Edgar's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect that.
I was like, wow, you just gonna sell out Edgar like your dad? So, and he was like, yeah, I should have realized she's more like me. Just sell me out there. And I love what Edgar said. He's still not afraid of Homelander, and he looks at him in his eyes. He's like, you're gonna realize you need me. You need me to be there to stop you from doing what you're doing. You know, without me, you're nothing still. And he believes it. He really believes he's nothing. You know, and now
I think that's what he called him.
That. Yeah,
that was the coolest speech where he's like, where Homelander keeps telling me like, you're nothing, you're garbage, you don't deserve blah blah blah, and he's like, I'm not your daddy, I'm not gonna give you approval and this and that, and then he even like said, he goes, you're just bad product. I was like, damn, that's not even saying you're not even a human. You're just like you're a bad product. You're a mess up from like our experiments. I was like, you're
just a thing, you know.
Yeah, he basically called him a velociraptor.
Yeah, you're a failed experiment.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this bad experiment can destroy everything so quickly.
This is going to be weird because he can't. Well, now the Soldier Boy is back. He doesn't realize it now, but he has someone that can eliminate his powers, that makes him vulnerable, that allows maybe Queen Maeve to be able to to fight with him now, or Starlight to do some things to it. I mean, this is going to be World War III. It's going to be nuts.
I'm excited to finally see what this Jensen Ackles. We got a lot of the flashbacks. I'm like, now see him in today's world. Like, what's up with his, like, is he not all there anymore? Like, what's gonna go on with something like that? Like, is he just a different person? Does he even remember who he is at this point? So
yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna get a Winter Soldier effect where he's basically just brainwashed and basically like a tool.
I mean, either way, he's a tool. But...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tool. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see, because he didn't know what was going on. He didn't say anything, and then he just let out that burst of energy and then just ran off. So I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm curious. So we've been going for a little while for the boys. Any last thoughts? Any like wild predictions? I know we already kind of said a lot of the wild predictions, but
and the truth is, we all have no effing clue.
Yeah,
because they will do anything. So we have no idea. They could go way to the right, way to the left, and we just be like, yeah, we accept it because you have no idea what they're going to do.
I think the only absolute I can kind of put together based on what we've seen for the next episode is things are going to be a little more. I feel like things are going to be a little more Soldier Boy centric on this next episode. Since he's been like pretty much one of the main things we've been waiting on. I think you legit just never know with the boys. I thought I knew where they were going to go at the beginning of the season, and they basically they basically threw me for a loop. So I don't even think you can say anything about where they're going to go.
Whose team? I mean, you don't know what is going on. Everyone is on. They're all adversaries. It's like just 12 people just dangling and just dancing. You have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, everyone's out for themselves.
And Starlight going to break up? Who can Starlight trust? Can Huey trust Butcher? Could Butcher trust Huey? Is Eminem, is Mother's Milk going to be, or Marvin, whatever, going to trust anyone? Is he going to go back home? Is Frenchie going to go nuts and kill everybody? I mean, you don't know what's going on. Or is he going to go, kill the whole Russian mob? I mean, you don't know what's happening. It's just so nuts. I love this show. So, I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen Friday.
Yeah. And I love that I have no idea what's going to happen Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps all of us on our toes. I mean, and it keeps getting more and more messed up. It's stuff where Marvel just can't get to. I mean, they won't ever want to either. It's just not going to ever happen. Where these guys,
it has its niche.
Yeah, they can go all out and go stupid. Yeah. So, and I love them for it. Because we get Miss Marvel, very kid friendly, and then we get The Boys, which is the complete opposite. So as superhero stories at least. So yeah, I'm loving this show. But we'll probably end that one here. So next week, so Friday, as we're recording this right now on Wednesday. So Friday in a couple of days, the new episode comes out. But we'll talk about that one next Wednesday live. So make sure you guys are subscribed and like the video if you like what's going on with The Boys right now. And we're on our way to 250. We're only need a couple more subs and we hit 250. So that's for me, that's like super awesome. Like super hyped about that.
Right.
Yeah, a quarter of the way to 1,000. So that's the goal. So
there we go.
Thank you guys.
But yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, really. And share the video too. If there's any other videos you like, you do. Yeah, exactly. And also, check us out on Facebook. We're Spoiler Kings. Link is in the description. Put a bunch of different stuff up there, different memes, jokes, rumors, news, all that good stuff. So that's fun over there. Seeing all that stuff on Spoiler King, on Facebook. But yeah, let's get out of here, man. So if you're watching live, stick around. We'll probably hang out for another minute or so, figure out what we're gonna do. Watching a replay, appreciate it. Thank you. And we will see you guys next week with another episode of The Boys. So, later.
See you guys.
It's already getting kind of late. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we started like super late.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's really no big video release, right? I'm trying to look at.
One thing I was there
trailers.
looking at the stuff that we saw from Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's basically the same stuff that we already said we were going to enjoy. Something else though. There's something I want to talk about. Nope. Yeah.
The new Nope trailer. Oh, we can watch. We can maybe do that
another time. Yeah.
I will say about the new Nope trailer, it definitely gave off a more comedic / sci-fi vibe than the previous trailer, which I enjoyed that. Jordan Peele.
Yeah, we actually understand what the hell's going on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I know these Wednesday shows are kind of long, and then the next week, next week Wednesday, season 3 of Umbrella Academy drops.
Oh, it sure does. I forgot all about that.
Don't forget, I'm in Florida next week.
Yes. Yeah. So you're leaving this weekend, right? So you'll be gone Monday and.
Yep. So also I'll be going Sunday. So.
By Sunday. Okay.
But I don't know if you're gonna be able to stop me from getting on Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm ready to jump on anytime. So just keep me posted as to what the plan is.
Well, Monday we're gonna do Lightyear, so I'm pretty excited to see that.
All the hate you're getting from that because of the same-sex kiss that they're gonna have on screen.
Yeah,
and some countries banned it
already. Yeah, yep. So, and from what a lot of people said, it's like something that's super quick in the back. And I think Taika's been the one talking about it a lot. Like Chris Evans said more of the PR friendly thing to say, which I get, whatever. But Taika is like kind of going like really championing it. He's like, y'all need to stop. This is stupid, So, which obviously he doesn't care about that shit because he did Our Flag Means Death, and that's a very like queer representation kind of show. And I don't know if you watched that one, Brandon. I love that show. I thought that show was so freaking funny. It was so good.
I got to start watching it. I know it's on HBO Max. Maybe I'll start doing getting into that this weekend.
Yeah, I think there's 9 episodes. It's really funny. Taika is just so freaking awesome.
Do you think?
Taika's freaking brilliant.
Think that all those the fanboys are gonna allow him to do Star Wars? Really? I mean, he doesn't care, so he's gonna be himself no matter what. But do you think the fanboys are gonna, try to push him away?
They'll pay for it anyway.
We nailed it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
So, but yeah, Taika is he's been saying all the right things that I think a lot of fans are saying or want. Is like he said, like he's not going to touch any of the main characters. He's going to do his own thing on a different planet. And I'm like, cool, like do something new. We have a whole universe of
do something new. And you're hiring these directors with a very specific visual and narrative flair. Just let them do their thing. Hire them, let them do their thing. You don't want it to be too manufactured by the company and too influenced,
That's why I like that stuff that they're hearing. You're hearing that they're going for more established directors so they can kind of walk away from it and not they give you parameters and they say, all right, Kevin Feige's not going to sit there and just let me see every minute of every episode of you doing it. He's kind of just giving them free reign because he likes that now. He likes the freedom because he's doing so much. And I like that because we're going to get different types of shows.
Yeah, like let YTD make a YTD film. You hire the guy for a reason, let him do his thing.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the more, kind of future Star Wars things that I'm excited for the most. Just to see what he does with it, and I like that he's keeping it whatever it is under wraps. So I think he's going to deliver something very, very special.
Doesn't he always though?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty special.
So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Taika, I go watch his Wired, like Google autofill, whatever thing they do. He did one, and then like a few days around that time, he did his came out. Seth MacFarlane also had one. I watched both. I watched the Seth MacFarlane one first, and he's a funny guy, and stuff like that. But then I watched the Taika, and he's me and my girlfriend always talk about it. It's like how just effortlessly he's funny, like without even trying. He's just funny, and he just seems like a guy, like just a person you want to be around. Because I'm like, it's just like everything is like interesting or a joke to him, and he's just like somebody that like this seems like fun to be around. Like
it's freeing. Like he's very freeing. Like you can just be yourself and not have to worry about anything. He's just
Go on YouTube and they have his there's a bunch of people who took all his Instagram stories of him going on vacation with his daughters, right? Mm-hmm. They went to the Shire, and they went to the Shire, it's called. He did a hashtag Dads on Tour, is what it's called. And it's all his Instagram stories, and he puts them all together, and they're doing this, they're doing hang gliding, and they're doing a bunch of like other stuff like that. And he's just so funny with his 2 daughters, and is just they're going through a cave, and he's cracking jokes, and he's making fun of like the Shire and hobbits and this and that. He's just so he's so freaking awesome. I don't know. That's just somebody who's very artistic.
Sounds.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Called it hashtag Dads on Tour.
Yeah.
Worth a watch. It's funny. But yeah. But I think he's gonna do a good Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
I think stuff. Did you also see Marvel? Did you see what Marvel said? What they're doing for Love and Thunder?
No.
They're doing the 8 hours of Thor for Love and Thunder. That they're releasing like all 8 hours. You have to watch the first 2, and then they're doing Ragnarok, and then they're gonna have so you can have 8 hours of Thor with all this stuff. So that was a big thing I saw before we got on.
The first 2 are definitely.
Who the hell's gonna want to watch that?
Yeah.
Just because you see who Jane Foster is? Nah, I'm all right. Give me a flashback sequence. I'm good.
God, I really hope Jane isn't as unbearable as she was in Thor: The Dark World, or Thor: The Dark World is in Love and Thunder. But if anyone can improve a character like that, I have full faith in Waititi.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch Endgame. Just watch Endgame. You could be good to go.
Yeah.
Right. I think there was something that came out the other day where he said they weren't able to use. They didn't use Natalie Portman correctly. The first 2, he said. He's like, she's very funny and very free, and they kept her in a very closed, tight box.
That's what they did for Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
the exact same thing, and they didn't realize how good of his comedic timing.
Yeah,
So,
because with the way he talks, very like stuff like that, So that kind of made me a little happy. I was like, oh, so he's kind of like let Natalie Portman, who is a really great actress, let her be a little bit more free with what she does best. So.
Hey, man, yeah. What's that movie? Black Swan was one of those epic movies I saw. I was like, shit. All right.
Yeah, she plays a crazy person in that one, like legit crazy. So.
Yeah. There's a specific reason I watch that movie sometimes.
Hope your mouth's not watching anymore. Oh, that's terrible.
I mean, that's probably the same reason why a lot of people watch that movie.
It's a bad reason. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Man.
Cool, man. So yeah, have fun on vacation, man.
Yeah. Have a great time on vacation.
Oh yeah, no, I'm planning on it. Planning on doing all type of stupid stuff, and I'm bringing back souvenirs.
Nice. Are you in all 4 parks of Disney, or just a few of them?
No, we're just doing Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and then Universal and Islands of Adventure. That's all we're doing.
Okay.
But then we're going to Disney Springs and all that stuff.
Yeah, Disney Springs is always fun.
Spend all my money.
I would highly recommend because me and my girlfriend watch a lot of like YouTubers that are at Disney, that do the whole Disney thing, and we found out about this pizza place in the Italy world at Epcot, and we wind up going. We didn't have to wait too long, but sometimes there could be a wait, so you can get in and get a wait time. That was probably the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life. It was so freaking good. It's a little pricey, but obviously it's Disney.
It doesn't matter. You're Disney. I mean, if you pay under $50, you winning.
Man, I think I paid $40 just for a pizza for us two, and we had leftovers. Like so it was a pretty decent sized pizza. But they're like they import everything from Italy. You know, even the tap water is imported from Italy. So when they mix the dough, they're using like legit like water from Italy.
Huh.
So that pizza place was really good, really good. So and it's a brick oven, stone oven kind of thing too. So
I mean, last time I listened to you guys about pizza, I got some Pequods, so I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that then.
oh yeah, you did get Pequod.
Yeah, went all the way over there to get it. It was good.
That yeah, that's really good. Brandon needs to go. You're not too far from
You can just almost
the one
order
by
it.
DePaul.
He can
Yeah.
order it.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
get it delivered.
yeah.
There's it's on Clybourne and
that's a quick trip for me.
yeah. You know where it's at?
Pequod,
Yeah.
yeah, it's close to him. So.
I know it's like Clybourne and Webster.
2207 North Clybourne.
So there's the
Yeah,
AMC
actually,
theater right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
And
Oh, I don't
I'm
think-
in that general area anyway. Like sometimes when I'm on the way to and from work. So.
that Pequods, man.
Oh yeah.
That's legit.
Actually, I might go there this weekend. This is actually making me want Pequods.
I love that. I love Pequods. Yeah.
Mm.
When I first started going, there was never a wait. It was just like a hole in the wall kind of pizza place. And now it's an
You
hour
better order
wait.
it. Yeah, he better order it.
Cool. So yeah, so Monday, me and Brandon will be here. Well, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
Going
I
with
should be
Brandon.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do Lightyear and then maybe watch a few trailers.
Cool.
Yeah. But-
Yeah.
All right.
I think
You never
as
know
of
with
right
me,
now,
guys.
dead
I'm bringing all my
to
stuff, so just know, at any point in
Dude.
time, I could just pop up.
You better
Cool with
enjoy
that. Just let
your
us know.
vacation, man.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, have fun on your vacation.
Yeah,
Take
don't
care of
worry
that.
about that.
Hold it down over here. But
Yeah. But cool.
yeah, I'm gonna,
But once the Bears
I'm gonna-
sign DK Metcalf, I'll be on immediately.
You'd be on every single show. Like, told you, Martin.
Anytime Martin's about to go on, I'm gonna be on there with him. Like, where are you? How are you even doing this? Just saying.
Go find his PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna get to bed.
Yep.
Yeah,
I gotta go
yeah.
too. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right.
We'll see you guys later.
All right.
All right.
I will talk to you
Later,
guys
guys.
soon. Bye bye.